Jimmy Butler, he's a very interesting player to me.
Just goes to show the offense for the Dallas Stars could not keep up. And when the defense needed to step up, the Lightning's offense just overpowered them.
It makes it almost impossible for their bats to get going or have any confidence in the locker room when you're getting absolutely hosed on the defensive end.
He's like, oh shoot, I don't know where to go with the ball because I haven't been able to think.
It's their defense, man. Mika Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt.
You saw Luka. I'm very intrigued to see how Luka bounces back after his first playoff series.
For next season, there are massive free agents like Giannis. And if Giannis goes to a team like the Heat, like I said before, I expect them to win the championship. 4 teams who could win the AFC in my mind, legitimately. Steelers, Chiefs, Titans, Ravens.
Stay undefeated when they face the mighty Cowboys with Garrett Gilbert and Tony Pollard.
It was a great series. Game 4 was one of the best games I've ever watched in my entire life.
So happy when the Astros lost because it would definitely be a 2020 thing to have the Astros win a World Series, and then you have to hear them.
Now LeBron's a 4-time champion, and Anthony Davis gets his first.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah, I was impressed by their game. Braden Point, Andre Palat, Nikita Kucherov, that was the best line in the playoffs, no doubt.
I think you have 2 established number 1 wide receivers in Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, and I think you have an emerging star in C.D. Lamb.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared Sandler, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our 29th episode. Last episode, we predicted the division round. Austin went undefeated, going 4-0, and I went at 500, so I got 2-2. So the total score now for the playoff predictions is Austin takes the lead. Austin takes the lead with that undefeated weekend and goes to 8-2, and then I fall to 7-3. So these games we'll have to see if Austin can break away and take the title, or if I can come back and leave it all in the Super Bowl. And to make sure, if you want, check out Apple Podcasts, and now we will review the divisional round and make our predictions for the conference games. I'll let you start it off, Austin.
Yeah, so the first game this weekend was Packers versus Rams. This was a highly anticipated game because it was the number 1 offense going against the number 1 defense. Packers was number 1 offense, Rams was number 1 defense, and the Packers took advantage. Jalen Ramsey was mad after a touchdown he gave up in man against Devontae Adams, and the Packers only punted twice the entire game. I predicted a 27-13. I got the score differential right. It was 32-18. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is where I picked the Rams, and I thought I was doing the sneaky pick with the Rams as they were the number 1 defense, as you said. And you said they only went 2 drives that ended in a punt. Aaron Rodgers and his people were like, they listened to our episode, and they said, hold our cheese head or coat. And they proved me wrong. And I did say they needed a second guy. And that second guy turned out to be Alan Lazard, as he had 4 receptions for 96 yards. And he kind of had that dagger touchdown thrown with that beautiful play where he beat the corner and he just ran it all the way in for the touchdown. And then the run game was incredible. I did not expect that with Aaron Jones with 99 yards. And then you also have Jamal Williams, 65 yards. What do you think?
Yeah, the Packers ran the ball really, really effectively against the Rams. And the Tampa, which has a good rush defense, will need to adjust. They will need to prepare for both the pass and the run. So let's move on to the last game that was on Saturday, the Bills and Ravens. So this game was a lot low scoring, much more low scoring than I predicted. I had it 23-20, and you and I both had the Bills winning, and they did, but not 17-3. Lamar Jackson got concussed at the end. We all hope he's okay, but the Bills defense, man, they really came to play. It was windy, and they only allowed 3 points and scored 7 points as a defense. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised with how low the game was, as I think you were too. And some of the throws may have been the wind. Josh Allen overthrew, but I blame that on the wind. And I think this really proved that the Bills going into next season, depending how they play against the Chiefs, have taken like that second spot in the AFC. To me, going into the season, we talked about it in our Super Bowl prediction or Super Bowl or bust season. We talked about the Ravens being the number 2 team, and they lost because as soon as they fall behind, they can't get out of it. It's very rare, as the only time they've come down from a 10-point deficit was against the Titans, who didn't have a really good defense when they played them. So I think the key thing for the Ravens this off season is to get a true number 1 wide receiver for Lamar, so he can grow as a passer. Because I think their defense can handle the Chiefs and Bills offense, but they need to get an offense to contend with it.
Yeah, definitely. So let's move on to the Chiefs versus Browns. This was a much closer game than we both anticipated, but that was definitely heightened by the fact that Patrick Mahomes was injured. He will play this weekend, and we're glad to see him healthy. But the game was 22-17. The Browns almost won, and Chad Henne came up as a hero. He threw a bad pick, but then had an amazing run on 3rd and 14, and almost got the first. And next play, he makes that great pass to Tyreek Hill. I projected it to be 30-14, but I couldn't have anticipated, neither of us could have anticipated the injury that happened to Patrick Mahomes. And I'm impressed by the Browns, but against a Patrick Mahomes team for basically the entirety of the second half, I thought they would come back and win the game. But the Chiefs are moving on. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield made a statement as he played well, except he did have that interception by Tyrann Mathieu. But also, were you as surprised as I was that they threw it on 4th down and that, like, you were talking about that sequence? I was like, they have to run it. But they stayed who they are, and that's the Chiefs, and they threw the pass with your backup quarterback.
Yeah,
That I
that's
was
not
like,
just the Chiefs. That's Andy Reid. He knows the defenses so well because he's such a great offensive mind that everybody thought, even Tony Romo thought they were going to run it or even call a timeout and punt it, but they threw a pass and it worked. Anything
yeah.
else?
Nope. It's just hope. I'm glad Patrick Mahomes is healthy, and I think the Browns, they're gonna have high expectations, and I think they can live up to them next season.
Yeah, I agree. So let's move on to the old head matchup. Last game on Sunday between New Orleans and Tampa. This is the game where I took the lead. You had the Saints winning, and I had Tampa winning 27-21. It was really a game of turnovers. The Bucs got 4 of them, and Tampa didn't throw any picks or have any fumbles, and that really is what set the difference. Tom Brady did what he needed to, and they got the win, 30-20. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised with how many turnovers New Orleans has, because when I predicted it, I did not believe they were going to turn over the ball 4 times, and 3 of those times were within. They all started at the 20-yard line or less. There was one on like the 3-yard line, and then the other 2 turnovers were at the 20-yard line. So you basically moved Tampa Bay's offense, which is a good offense, and gave them great field position. And if Tampa wants to beat Green Bay, you're going to have to get turnovers. And I think that's going to be incredibly hard to do with how well Aaron Rodgers is playing. And now New Orleans, I'm interested to see if Drew Brees comes back. I doubt it. And I think it's going to be a great quarterback battle, especially if they can get James Winston back, because he did make a good throw. It was their only completed deep pass in that game. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I'm conflicted on whether or not I think Drew Brees should come back. I think you should really think it over, and I'm fine either way. He's had a great career, and I hope he can get healthy because he's dealt with so many injuries in his career. So, and he's one of the greatest QBs of all time. So, it's a tough way to go out, but when you're playing Tom Brady, that's just how the dice roll sometimes. So I think we can move on to this weekend. So the first game is tomorrow at 3:05 p.m. Eastern between the Buccaneers and the Packers. The Packers are the home team, and they have a lot to prove. Tom Brady has done it again. He's made his 14th championship game This is his first NFC Championship game, and Antonio Brown's out. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so as I've said before, Tampa Bay's defense needs to get a turnover, and they're getting Vita Vea back, so that's good to stop the run game. As I said, the run game is the key to opening up wide receivers such as Allen Lazard, Marquise Van Scantling. The Packers do have Devontae Adams, and the only team I really saw that could defeat or dethrone the Packers in the NFC right now were the Rams, and the Packers proved how well the offense is rolling, and I think Devontae Adams is gonna have a big game because no offense to the Bucks secondary, I don't see a a great corner that can contend like Jalen Ramsey. And so they may be able to stop the run game, but I don't know if they can stop Aaron Rodgers and Adams. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be a good game, but I can't bet against Tom Brady. I have the Bucks winning 31-27, and Tom Brady going to his 10th championship. Just like LeBron went to his 10th championship earlier this year with the Lakers on a new team. Tom Brady with a new team will go to his 10th and try to win his 7th championship to tie the Patriots for, or to beat the Patriots for the most all time.
Well, you said you can't bet against Tom Brady, and as a Cowboys fan and what I just did last weekend, I am not going to bet against Aaron Rodgers, so I have the Packers scoring 27 and the Bucks scoring 24.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be a great game, and I'm excited to see it. We have two of the best quarterbacks of all time going against each other, the potential MVP and a 43-year-old quarterback who threw 40 touchdowns and has won 6 championships. So it's going to be a good game either way, and I'm excited to see it. So let's move on to the last game of Sunday. This game will be at 6:40 p.m. Eastern between the Bills and the Chiefs. The Chiefs will be at home. Patrick Mahomes will be back. He will play. And I really think that's the difference. If he was not playing, I feel like the Bills would be a lot more confident in their abilities and may score more points. But as I look at it now, I don't see how they can contend with this offense, and especially the mind of Andy Reid. Well, I don't imagine they're going to score a ton of points because their offense has really been flustered this entire second half of the season. I do see them making big plays when it counts, and the Bills' offense has really been lackluster throughout these playoffs. Your thoughts?
Yeah, the Bills head coach Sean McDermott is a pupil of Andy Reid, and this is his first championship game. While it's a great job of getting the Bills here, Andy Reid's been here before, and I think they're gonna do it again. So the Chiefs will win. I have them winning 28-21. They don't hit that 30 point mark. This will be the second time for the postseason, but I think they can definitely win. And while the Bills have a great secondary in Tre'Davious White, a great corner in Josh Norman, a good second corner, I just don't, like you said, Mahomes is the difference. I think Mahomes comes back and he lets it rip. But it's definitely going to be a good game because I think you've said in the past Josh Allen has one of the greatest arms, and he might have a better arm, has more arm strength than Patrick Mahomes, and we might get to see that in tomorrow's game.
Yeah. I'm giving a little bit more respect to the Bills defense while you have the Chiefs scoring 28. I had them scoring 23. But we both agree the Bills will score less points than the Chiefs, and I have them only scoring 14. So that's 23-14. And I think the real difference is the run game. The Chiefs know how to run the ball even when running backs are injured, and Devin Singletary and the Bills haven't really been able to get it going. Josh Allen is their running back, basically. And I don't think they're going to have the easiest time moving the ball down the field. The Chiefs don't have a tremendous defense, but they have a good enough defense that's bend don't break and will make life tough on Josh Allen. I'm interested to see, like you said, Sean McDermott has already been and is a part of Andy Reid's coaching tree. So it's going to be a good game, and I'm excited to see who's going to head to the Super Bowl.
Yep, and it's definitely going to be a great weekend. So thank you for joining us for our 29th episode. Our 30th episode, which will be our next episode, is where we will review our picks see if I come back and tie it up with Austin or he takes the lead. And we will also look at the biggest storylines heading into the Super Bowl. And then we will dedicate another episode just for the Super Bowl game. So thank you for joining us.